Hey, hey!
Hello.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining into our show today. This is our third show now, and I'm so excited that we can do this. I'm joined here today by Tamara. Thank you so much for joining in, Tamara. I'm
You're
so
welcome.
excited.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, today, if you're not familiar with the format of the show, this is the third Codecy Hacktoberfest show where, yes, I'm in costume again. Hi, Liz. um, this is the third show in a series of me getting onboarded to new code bases. This is the I've over the last couple weeks I've reached out to folks putting their code bases up on our project, the OSS port. If you're not familiar with it, the OSS port is our portal that we're working on to help folks with their onboarding process in ways that we think are going to go beyond a README by doing things like having a focus on maintainer availability, contributing guidelines, and a whole bunch of these that we feel are going to hopefully make this a better way for maintainers to find contributors, because we feel like a lot of folks there's a lot of projects out there to help contributors find projects, but not so much the other way around. So we're kind of putting the focus on maintainers. How can we make the maintainers life easier? So that's me rambling. Today I'm getting onboarded to Time to Leave, which amongst other things is a Electron code base. I've done a little bit of Electron in my time, but I haven't done like I want to be upfront. I haven't looked at the code base for Time to Leave yet, but I have made sure that it runs on my machine. So that's the full disclosure. So before I take us in, Tamara, I'd love to, we were chatting a little bit leading up to today's show, and I'd love for you to share with the folks viewing a little bit about yourself, your open source journey, and maybe a little bit about Time to Leave as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, sure.
thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Tamara. I'm a Brazilian software engineer. I'm from Belo Horizonte, which is a great city. You should know that. On my day job, I work for Cadence, and on my day job, I work mainly with C++. And I do love C++ a lot, but the language itself is kind of hard to maybe do some simple things. Because of that, I always use Python on the side for quick things. But I also been very curious about what else is up there. So yes, so uh, a while ago I decided to start contributing to open source because I was feeling at that point I used to do a lot of those kind of challenges like hacker rank and this kind of things, and it was great because I was practicing many languages solving those problems, but I was feeling kind of alone doing that because it was me and a machine who just say that the test has passed or not.
Hmm.
And I knew the open source community. I have been using lots of products that are free and open source. So I was talking to myself, oh, maybe I should start contributing to open source too. And my first idea that comes to mind was to start contributing to a project that I knew well, which was Inkscape.
Inkscape.
And yes, the image, the SVG image processing
Oh.
thing. Yeah. And I must say that that was a really big mistake on my part. I was really intimidated by the size of the code base, and at that point I don't really know if that has changed since then, but they were not really welcome to people who were starting. Or maybe that was just on me for not really knowing well the platform, because at that point I don't think they even used GitLab. Now they are on GitLab, but anyway, I was really it was a terrible experience. I wasn't able to do any contribution at all. But then I didn't let myself get into that mindset of I'm not able to contribute. So I started looking to other projects. At the time, many of my friends have also started contributing. So I started to see what are they doing. Maybe there is something on that. I pick a few projects and started contributing to different projects sporadically. It was not something huge at all, but it got me used to the flow of open source, specifically on GitHub, before of opening pull requests and how to work with branches. Because this is another thing that on my day job I use Mercurial, which is kind of different from Git itself, and I don't use branches on my day job. So the whole idea of branches was kind of new to me, and I have to get used to that. So it was a big change.
I'll
But
bet. Yeah.
yeah, that was problematic at first, but now I love brains. I miss using brains on my day job. So yeah, so that was it. And right at the time, and now starting to talk a little bit about time to live itself. As Ramon said, time to live is an electron-based application, and the whole idea for that is to allow users to better track their working time. So it's almost like a timesheet system that you control. The data is yours to do whatever you want with that. And the idea for that came up as a joke at the time, because the company I work for was changing their system, and because of labor laws in Brazil and everything like that, doing overtime was not really an option. So we need to be aware of the time that we got to work and when we should leave. And as a
Mm.
joke, someone mentioned, or maybe I really don't know where the joke came from, but someone mentioned, oh, we should have an app that alerts you when it's time to leave. I
Love
was
it.
already, yeah, I was already with the idea of maybe starting something new where I can get more knowledge about the whole process of development, not only the development itself, but the whole process of developing a product, from the idea of selecting technologies and everything like that. And so in maybe a few days, maybe a week, I had the first version and show that to some friends. And from that on, we've been working on time to live and been putting a lot of hours into that. Uh, and I think this is our third Hacktoberfest, and
Wow.
it's been a lot of work, but I cannot complain because I really love that. I really love that. See people getting to be able to contribute to open source and to learn all these things that I have learned in the past, from like working with Git and branches and everything like that. To be able to do that, and we try to give as much support as we can for those who are starting, and not only on reviewing but also problems when they face some issues. Um, Git issues, basically. We
Yeah.
also try to support that. And yeah, that is it. I think I was talking too much.
Never. No, no, never, never. Because like this is see when it, sorry if you don't mind my rambling. I think it's important to give that context as to not only why an app exists, but like hearing the excitement that comes from a passion project like this, or from an open source project that one enjoys working on, and that folks collaborate on.
Yes,
That's
yes. Yeah,
yeah,
go.
as Liz says, not talking too much, this is great, and that's absolutely the point, I think. And it's an insight that oftentimes doesn't really come across in something like a GitHub profile, sorry, in a GitHub repo page. So I very much appreciate this, and that's exactly what this show is about. It's to showcase, like, give an opportunity for the maintainers to get up and also say, like, this is what, for example, it is to work on this project. So please never feel like you're talking too much.
Yeah, I just want to also mention something that it's
Sure.
almost like a disclosure here, that I'm in no means an expert in JavaScript or electro for that matter. And I think maybe this is the lesson here, because if I was the one who created the application and one of the maintainers, and I can do that, I'm sure everybody here who wants to will be able to contribute in some way to with Time to Live or any other project that you may find on GitHub and other places.
You have no idea how much I appreciate you saying that, Tamara, because I feel like a lot of, because you were saying, especially at the beginning, like how a lot of the time it's easy to feel intimidated by going into a new project. And this is something that personally I've been dealing with a lot in the last year or so. This sort of notion that, especially with experience and seniority, that one kind of gets the feeling from the outside that a software developer knows everything. And that's not entirely true.
Not at
And
all.
if anything, we're just better at getting ourselves up when we stumble, right? That's what we get
Yes.
better at over time, like understanding, like, because I was saying, like, yeah, I did a little bit of electron, so like I have a little experience, like, you know, debugging little issues that come in here and there. I gotta commend you though, like, I started up Time to Leave, no problem whatsoever. So
That's great, and I must say that's not on me actually. One of the when we started the project itself, one person in special, it came front and actually help us set up almost everything we have, from releasing and testing and everything like that, because that person really had the knowledge to do so.
mm,
So that is one of the great things about open source, is that because uh, I was doing things manually, we are lacking tests and lots of other things, but someone who had that knowledge was able to help us, and this is what we've been using so far. So
that's
most of
amazing.
most of the fact that we don't have problems usually when onboarding someone into Time to Live is not actually because of me, but because of the community itself.
Well, I mean, like, it's an ensemble effort, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And that's a really good point you make, that, when it comes to contributing to a new project, that you can come in and offer, you don't have to have the full scope of how the project works, but rather contribute the laser focused part that you are good at and can contribute with. Say, I don't know, accessibility issues that you find or stuff like this. Like, this really matters.
Yes, yes. And every contribution that anyone can feel that anyone wants to do, it might be not even a contribution where the person is submitting code, but opening an issue or helping us understand what should be improved
Mm.
in the application itself. These are contributions that we very much value.
Absolutely. Great point. Yeah, non-code contributions go a very long way. And it's something that I wish we could showcase better. It's something that I've been thinking a lot about with OSS Port as well, is to this ability to be able to um, make those non-code contributions a lot more apparent and forthcoming. So I really appreciate that you mentioned that. Yeah, shall we start diving in? I figure, Tamara, please feel free to, like, direct what you think is the best way to start.
Hmm.
I was gonna have a look at the wonderful OSS port entry that you've made for Time to Leave, and maybe use that as an opportunity to um get into the issues, and maybe, because I'm told by you that you maybe have a couple of things that we could work on today.
Yes, I have a lot of things.
Oh,
So
excellent.
yeah, we can start with the OSS part for sure.
Sounds good. Let's do that right away. So I'm just gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go at this full on sharing my entire second screen. So, folks, if you're watching and I'm looking over there, that's because I'm looking at that screen. Yeah. So please bear with me. It's not that I'm ignoring you. I'm here. um, yeah. So what you see here is the entry for the OSS port entry for Time to Leave, where you very kindly put up some tags so that people who are interested in contributing to something related to JavaScript, HTML, Python. Oh, I missed Python.
Yes, yes, we have some internal routines that help us on releasing and some checks that we have that are based on Python. And we might even have an issue if you want to deb into Python.
I did some Python last week. I can do it again. um, yeah, and I love this entry. You give a description, you provide screenshots, and this is sort of like an overview, not so much a readme as it is just an overview of what the project is in case folks are interested in contributing. As well as a map, as well as a link to the codec map that you made, which is, I have to say, if I may, if I may say, marvelous. I love,
Thank you.
Tamara, that you very kindly took the time to make a tour. So, for example, starting at the README, I see here. I'm going to go to the next one here. Get to know how to contribute to Time to Leave. See, this is how I found that there was a contributing guidelines as well as a development. Ooh, let me move this up a little. Sorry. If you want to contribute to development, please check our development guide. If you bump into any issue, come around our Discord server. That's how I found the Discord server, by the way. We'll be happy to help you, and don't forget to have fun. That's wonderful and so inviting, as well as providing a detailed labels for all of the things, as well as those that don't really need showing, like the GitHub actions and the assets. This is a really thoughtful map, Tamara. I
Thank
have to
you.
say, like, I love how detailed everything is labeled, and it really gave me. Liz said, we were gushing all over this map internally at Codesy, all the pretty colors. Like, love it. No, this was fantastic. So very much appreciated. I'm going to leave this open because we might need to come back to it
Sure.
from time to time. Let's see here. Currently looking for developers, backend devs, front-end devs, designers, and testers. That's super cool. Most contributors are in Brazil. That's really awesome. We're extremely proud of having welcoming, again, like a contributing section where folks can say, like, here's our issues, here's our Discord, contributing guidelines and development guides, super cool, as well as Hacktoberfest issues. That's really fun.
Yes, and those are. It's kind of hard to have Oktoberfest issues open on Time to Leave.
Oh
We've
yeah.
been receiving lots of visits from people who wants to work on those issues that are starting, and I even have to keep some of the issues that I knew that were on Time to Leave. I have to keep that from opening an issue on GitHub because I didn't think it was going to survive as in open
Oh.
space until today.
The downsides to being a popular project, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much for keeping some issues secret from me. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I can't wait. Let's hop onto those issues. Should I be looking at the GitHub repo?
Yes, yes, you can go there. I'm just finishing oh my god, okay. I'm just finishing opening the first issue that I think we can take a look at that.
Here, Tupa School says if it's not to look colorful and amazing, tomorrow won't do it. Well, that's a big
The
compliment.
colors itself, they are a complement of Code C. They
Oh
have the
yeah.
colors. I just need to set those up. I think I just had to choose what makes sense in my mind.
I'm a big fan of pastel colors, so I was also with you on this one. And yeah, lots of purple. Purple's my favorite color, so this is a
Yeah,
winner.
that's mine too.
Nice high five! Like, I mean, you can see we're surrounded by purple here. Liz says as well. Awesome. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, we've got today, like, we're gonna take it super easy. We're gonna do a little bit of
Hmm.
coding. And when the time feels natural to stop, we'll stop. If not, we'll go about for 2 hours, seeing how we get on, and it'll be super super laid back.
Yes, sure, sure. And as I said, I have a lot of things. So
Hmm.
if you want to stop, otherwise I'll keep going.
Oh, I mean, I'm I'm super happy to keep going. I say let's marathon this. Let's see how far we get.
So I have mentioned that the issues haven't been open a lot. So I
Yeah.
have just opened the issue like maybe 1 minute ago, and
Ooh.
there is someone have already asked to assign the issue to
No
them.
way. This one here.
Yes.
Please sign. Ooh. So what do you think? Should we now I feel bad. I don't want to take it away from this person.
Yeah, we can do some other things. No problem. Let me assign that to this person. Actually, I'm
I'm gonna
assigning correctly. Oh, sometimes whenever I go assign issues to someone, I ended up assigning to
Oh,
myself.
all the time because of the
Yeah,
assign, yeah, all the time. I feel ya.
yeah. So maybe on this other issue, let me
I
not open an issue for that,
oh,
and we can open together. Because this is also one
oh,
thing that we encourage people, that they are free to go over the app itself and find issues, and when open they can shout out that they want to work on a given issue, and we will assign the issue to them. So
sounds
maybe we
good.
can do that.
Well, I'll tell you what, tomorrow, if you're comfortable with it, do you want to share your screen and like we look at the issue?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Sure. Let
And this
me
time I'll be the fast one to ask for assignment.
So yes, let me prepare to share here. Just a second, please.
All good.
Um,
It's so cool to see how enthusiastic folks are that that they're super like super they might have a bot or something waiting for those to come in.
yes.
But it's so great that we caught that on live stream as well, like, you know? And I
Yeah,
have
I wasn't exaggerating.
Oh yeah, no, now see, now I believe you. Not that I didn't before, not that I didn't before, but this is awesome.
Yes. So let me just bring up time to live here.
Yep.
I was
Ah, I see it here. I'm
refixing.
gonna go ahead and share it. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna switch over to Tamara's screen. There we go.
Okay, let me just have the screen on the other side.
Mhm.
Okay, so the other issue that I want to mention is that time to live is localized to, I think, maybe 20 different languages. So
Mhm.
what we can do is go over preference, and in here change for a different language. Let's say Portuguese,
You
Brazil.
have Catalan. That's so cool.
Yes, we have like a whole bunch, and that's one of the maybe uh, non-code contributions that people can do. They can help adding a new language on Time to Live. We have a more detailed guide on that, and also help us because the strings that we have on the code, they might get changing over
Yeah.
time, and when someone works on that, adding a new string, we want to avoid having Google Translate do the work itself, and we prefer to have
Wow.
people who are native or fluent speakers on that.
Yeah.
And usually we have some issues open with strings that need translation. Currently, I don't think there is any open.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. You have all kinds of languages. Congratulations. That's super
Thank
cool.
you, thank you.
Did I see Thai there?
Yes, I think there is. I think it's one of those that I cannot really know, but I think Thai is one of the language that
That's
we do support.
amazing.
On the help, not the help, but on the README of Time to Live, all the languages they are listed there,
Yeah.
as well as the README file itself. They are available in all these different
Wow.
languages.
That's super cool.
So yeah, as I was saying, the user can just select the language here, and when closing the window, the application is translated. The problem is this part is not translating. This is the button that we use. For example, let me just clear the database here. So if I want just to punch in that I started working right now, I can just click here, and the current time will go into the next available slot on the current day, and I can
Mhm.
do that many times. But the thing is that even though we translate all the application, this part is not being translated as well. So
Which
we
one,
might
sorry?
this punch time,
Oh, the punch time
the
button.
text,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So one of the things that I thought we can do is to take a look at that and investigate why it's not being translated and how we can fix that. So let me just
Yeah.
put time to live here on the side, and let's open an issue. So this is a bug report, and
Oh, wow. Sorry, Tamara, would you mind,
yeah,
just for our viewers, making it just a touch bigger?
yeah, sure.
I
This
would
way
say
is
one
better.
more. One
Okay.
more. Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
great.
Folks in the chat, if it's too small, please let us know. Like, I love, by the way, that you have an issue template. That's super cool.
Yes, yes, that's helped a lot because when we are reporting, for example, bugs, we want to know how to reproduce that, what is the environment that that bug was found, and this is kind of different if we are, for example, proposing a new feature. This how to reproduce doesn't really matter at all. So we have these different templates here.
That's amazing. Super thoughtful too, because it sort of it helps folks focus on like what it is that they need to report rather than just, and it helps you as a maintainer being able to figure out what's wrong.
Yes, yes, for sure. And we also have that, and I think we will be able to see that we also have the pull request template, which also helps people understand what we are expecting from the description to help us review the pull request too. Okay, so
Awesome.
I think we can start by specifying what is the issue here. So the issue
Hmm.
is that punch time button text does not get translated when changing languages.
Cool.
So the description is the same one. The punch button text on the bottom page maybe of
It'll be interesting to see why.
yeah. I have an idea, but
Oh yeah, we gotta get
yes,
there.
yes. So just to reproduce this, just open time to live.
Hmm.
Go to preferences. I think that goes into the edit menu, if I'm not mistaken. Now I'm with time to live in Portuguese here, so it's kind of hard.
I feel
Uh,
ya. A lot of my apps are in Spanish, and I'm just like, it's just like, yes, open a solicitation for changes, please.
and see problem. Actually close the preference
Hmm.
window. See the text is not translated. Okay, expect behavior to have the string be translated. So in this scenario, I'm not gonna follow up with the reporting here, but actually we have this part on the help, which is this about. We can just copy here and just paste,
No
but
way.
it would not really specifically matter here, but it gives us a lot of information that we have.
That is
I
so
could.
cool.
Thank you. So I could put some screenshots and additional context here, but I think we don't need that right now.
Yeah,
So this is
cool.
the issue that I'm gonna open. Let me just
Perfect. Do you want to
fix this
assign
up.
me right away? Uh
Yes, I think I
it's
need you to comment on the issue first. I don't know
for
if I can.
fairness.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
let me just put some labels here, which is
Yeah.
the
You say when
localization
I'm gonna start
label.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, submitted.
Got it, got
Oh.
it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. I love to work on this. Yeah. Okay, I think I was first.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a
Okay.
little, we're doing a little bit of collusion here, but I think it's okay.
Yes, yes. I think it's for the greater good, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. That's not the worst problem to have.
Yes, for sure.
So cool. Thank you very much. Shall we go ahead then, switch back to my screen
Yes.
and start the development process? I'm very excited. I'm just gonna switch back to screen. You can see here I'm on GitHub. I've got the green light from Tamara, and it's assigned to me. So I'm going to start working on that right away. Now I'm going to switch over to VS Code. Now that's what you see here. This is my editor. I've got time to leave checked out. And now I'm going to start building the app. As said, I haven't looked at the code, but I have built the app before, but I still want to take us through the process of building the app. So in order to do that, just looking at the map again, I saw here that you mentioned that in step 3, if you want to contribute with development, please check our development guide. And that's what I have open here. Hey, you added the diagram. Awesome.
Yeah.
I hope it's been helpful.
Yeah, actually, I have that added yesterday or maybe the day before. So I still haven't really got feedback from people from that, but I really like the way that it shows the architecture. Actually, it shows that we really need to rethink the architecture itself, because there are some things that we uh, ended up being because we actually, let me say that, because I didn't know what I was doing, so I started creating some different directories that maybe can be consolidated into one. uh Anyway, but yeah, I really like to have that view of the project itself. So
That's awesome. Well, I mean, hopefully, like it was a positive feeling to get the to get the fact that you get this bird's eye view that sort of says like, whoa, that shouldn't be there, it should be over here,
yes,
stuff like that. Oh,
yes,
that's
yes.
awesome.
Maybe in the future we, not maybe, but for sure in the future we will be changing a bit of the architecture of the application itself, and I expect that to be more beautifully viewed on the CodeC map.
Well, I'd love to help with that at any time. I mean, I'm promising it on stream, so it must be a good it must be a good deal.
Yeah, I'll
um
be in touch.
yeah, please. um cool. All right, so let's get started here. So we're working on my first pull request. You can learn how from this free series how to contribute to an open source project on GitHub. That's really cool that you link that.
Yeah.
I've used the resource a lot. It's super handy.
Yeah, it does help a lot, and maybe I need to check the link, but
It's now
it
live
is.
at App Egghead. Oh, I think
I
it
think maybe
the
the link has changed.
there we go. Oh, it's
Oh,
from
okay.
Kenzie Dogs. Yes, of course. This is a cool course. Um, awesome. So let's see. Let's get on the development guide. I love that you all have a community, some environment recommendations. So let's see. Node.js version 1450. I don't know what version of Node I have. Okay, I've got 14. Should be good.
Yeah.
We've got Git. I've cloned my repository. I've done it on a fork. So I'm gonna start with installing dependencies. So the first one is npm CI. I usually like typing out these commands just to get used to them instead
Yes.
of copy pasting.
They are short, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm curious. Do you know what npm CI does?
So npm CI is almost it's similar to yarn log file, style from log file, I think, which is
Ah,
use the the package log file instead of the package JSON, I believe.
I see.
I'm not 100% sure.
Gotcha, gotcha. Good to know. Right. So instead of like updating dependencies if they like on the log file if they're
Hmm.
new, it just sort of takes them as is.
Yeah, yes.
That's cool. That's cool. Good to know.
Yeah, and I
And then
believe that maybe this npm style it's not necessary right now, because I believe the npm CI already does everything that is expected.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you want to try skipping it just in case?
Yes. Yes.
Just to try it out.
Yes. Yes. Maybe
Sounds
this
good.
can be another pull request just to update this and remove that.
I do love making docs updates. Um, so cool. What was the next one? Sorry, npm start. All right, let's give that a try. So we've got Electron starting up.
Yeah. So just so everybody doesn't get the wrong impression of time to live, it usually takes a little bit to load at first if you are developing, because we do use of a feature that I completely forgot the name. That whenever you are changing, for example, in HTML file or JavaScript file, it reloads the app without having to relaunch Electron itself. So we do pay a small
Ah,
price at first just to launch it at first, but then when we are developing, we can just have time to live open and just keep saving in the file system or something like that will watch the changes that we are doing.
Good to know. So that's how it works. Awesome. All right. So we've got the app running. That looks good. So let's look at my my reproduction steps, my reproduce steps to reproduce. So I need to go edit menu, preferences, opening on my main screen here. Okay, app behavior. Let's change the language to let's go with Polish. So I've selected Polish now. Should I should
Just close the preference window. It gets saved
uh-huh.
once we close.
Yes, I see. And I can see here we've got these translated, but not punch time. So that's
Yes.
indeed. So I've reproduced the issue. Now
Hmm.
now we got to start figuring out how to get there, huh?
Yes. That's the fun part.
That's the fun part. Cool. So now that we're kind of in the coding context, I want to give everybody a heads up. This is an ensemble programming we're doing. So one of us will be navigating, the other one will be driving between me and Tamara. But the rest of you, please feel free to chime in, point us to docs, give us ideas. This is a collaborative experience we're doing here. So please, you're not just watching, you're contributing whether you like it or not just by watching. Cool. All right. So we got to find this punch time button, huh?
Yes.
Now, that would probably be I'm going to start from the map, I think. I'm going to be Let's take a look at the map and see where I would expect to find this button. So I've got the source here. And we've got our JavaScript here, our JS here.
This is one of the points that I believe that it was not required to be a source in a JS file, but things are like that right now.
It's all good. This is how we learn. So we've got our main window here. I can see, which initializes the application, setting up the menus and the main window with the calendar. And I get the feeling that this is Liz is like, oh wow, all the nested things have notes on them too. This is so cool. This is really hardcore. No, this is amazing because it lets us sort of go from there as to see like what is the main window pointing to. We've got import export. We would probably on the main window, I would suspect, find our way to the this punch time button component. Yes. If it is a component, which I suspect it is. Actually, I don't know. What are we running here?
We are running what's the name for that? It's pure JavaScript.
So it's pure JavaScript.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, awesome. Oh, I'm excited. I haven't done pure JS in ages. Yeah. Let's have a look, shall we? App config date. So somewhere in here should be our windows.
May I suggest you just close this file browser thing to the left? I believe that would be
this one here.
No, the menu that lists all the files. I believe that would be the button. Oh yeah, that would be okay. I believe these arrows. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
So we can see better.
Thank you for teaching me the app. No, I got no, that's super cool. Thank you. Cool. So let's have a look. So we've got I got distracted. We got our main window. Just having a look here. Update manager, import export, classes looks good. So let's see. We've got our calendars. And
we do have two kind of calendars. We have the month view and the day view, which is a more minimalistic view.
Awesome. Yeah. I bet we'll be dealing with that as well. So I think I'm going to start at the main window. I kind of get the feeling that this is is what we'll want to
we can start with that.
So that's in JS main window. Here we are. Nice. So got our browser window, IPC. Yeah, this looks This
Yeah,
looks like,
this is the part of Electron, right?
yeah, yes, exactly. And so I think what we'll want to go from there is the browser window, unless I'm
Yes,
mistaken.
yes, that's what instantiates and creates that window. And
Browser
I'm so
window.
sorry if anyone here does know Electron and see me talking some nonsense about that. It's just the way I see
No,
that.
no, that's a fantastic context into it's a fantastic insight into how Electron works, because of course this is the Electron part that builds the app and the window and shows that.
Hmm.
But that's the, if I remember my Electron correctly, that's the native window, but that's not quite the view. What we're looking for is that view part, right? The
Yeah,
when I
well,
say view, I don't mean Vue.js. I mean, some HTML. Sorry, I
yes.
interrupted you.
No, I was just saying that that's exactly that. When we create a browser window, we specify the path for the HTML based for that. So
Awesome.
we can try to look for that and
Yeah.
identify what is the source HTML file. I already know, but I'm gonna let you play
Oh,
a
if you don't,
little bit.
I mean,
I
I
can
don't.
try to guide you better.
No, you're doing fantastic. Like, and this is great because it kind of gives me an opportunity to jump in without any prior knowledge, which I think is, here we go, and that's the entry point for the main application. Then we've got the main window that initializes it, but the view. Where am I going to find that view code? We got to find some HTML code, I think.
Yeah.
Website. No.
No, that's another thing.
So we want. Hmm.
I believe you can, for example, search for a browser window, the string,
Oh yeah.
and this might help. See, because there are not that many browser windows in time to live.
Cool. Yeah, I see a couple here.
So those are the first usage. They are on the tests. So this is the one
Oh,
that
these
we want.
ones. Oh no,
Yeah,
this one here.
no, that is the one that we want to follow, because that
Awesome.
is the main window.
Oh, here we go. Main window, load file, index HTML. So I get the feeling we want to start around there, huh?
Yeah.
So that's in the main path. I see here index HTML. All right. This looks good. So in here, there's there it is. There's our punch button.
Yeah, you found.
Nice.
Uh,
And it has
uh,
an ID of punch button.
mhm,
It's disabled on start. I'm just gonna try it out. So
mhm.
I'm gonna.
It's disabled on start because we allow that only if this is a working day. So as you have probably today, which is Monday, Tuesday, today as a working day, it will be enabled. We do enable that on the JavaScript part.
Cool. I'm gonna switch this to another language though, because I
Mm-hmm.
realize I'm completely my Polish is not very good. So to be perfectly fair, let's go with something like French. I think French I know a little bit of. It's not Spanish, it's not Portuguese, so it's still like a little bit unfamiliar to the two of us, but still, a little linguistically related.
Yeah.
Do you speak French? Sorry, I didn't mean to assume
No.
you didn't.
No.
Fair enough. So today is Tuesday 19th. Ah, yes. And I see there I've punched in for 5:43 p.m. And if I punch in again, that's 5:44. So the button is currently enabled.
Hmm.
Liz is like, I was gonna say, don't you speak Spanish? Wouldn't that be perfect for testing it? It would, but I still want to be fair and like put in a language that neither of us speaks. I think that's fairest. um So, right, we've got our punch button here. So the string would, so I think if I were to look up this ID or class, that
Hmm.
would give me an idea of where it's being interacted with at the JavaScript level.
Yeah, yeah. The main part, which is the label for the button, is already defined there in the HTML, right?
Ah, yes, punch
Uh,
button label.
yeah. So we do have that, and we can see that it's hard coded into HTML. Um, so
Perfect.
what I would suggest now is just to take a
Yes.
look on how we do translations, how we do
Ah, yeah.
have the HTML being able to translate. For that, we can check another HTML file that has other strings. Uh, Maybe I think it's Workday Waiver. Maybe Abd
Workday.
Santos. Yeah, I think you
Let's
can look
see.
for the HTML.
Workday waiver.html. Yeah, I see it
Yeah.
here.
So yeah, um, we, if you look for, do you know I18N?
Yes.
The library for, yeah, that's what we've been using. So whenever we
Awesome.
have an element on HTML, and I've been saying HML, it's being really not good on my my tongue. It's not okay, but anyway.
All
uh,
good. All good.
yeah, so whenever we do that, we specify this data I18N,
Mm-hmm.
which specifies the language. So this is actually how we do that, in terms of um, specifying that that is a language that we
Oh,
need to change.
I see. So they're linked with this data I18N property or
Yes.
attribute. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes, and just to make it clear how we do break down these strings on time to live, you can maybe check, for example, the directory localis.
Ah, yes.
Uh,
Here, I'll do it here. So open this up and locales, and there's look at all those locales.
yeah, you can
Nice.
choose and some
I'll
from there.
I'll go with French
Yeah.
since we're speaking French.
So yeah, that strings that we define in there in that data
Mm.
I18N, they are defined in there. So the dollar sign is just like a higher scope. It's just
Mm-hmm.
just something that we choose to make clear where the strings are being used, because of context and everything like that. And then we follow up with the strings. So on the workday waiver, for example, we might have one of those strings that we saw there. And from what
Awesome.
we look at the main HTML, no, this is really hard to say. From that,
Wait,
on the punch button, we don't see this
yes.
this attribute, right? Oh,
Yeah, so it seems to me like we got to add it.
yes,
But shall we make sure that we get the key?
yes,
I'm going to look up in translation the English one where punch time is. That's it. So it's punch time in the scope of menu. Is that correct?
yes. We can
Or
reuse that for sure. Ideally, we would have that under some kind of calendar scope. But because
uh-huh.
we already have punch time, and we would need to replicate this string in all other languages, I
Yeah.
think it's totally okay to reuse the menu one, and later we can work on improving that and moving that to its own scope, and this can be incremental change for sure.
Cool. Makes sense to me. Let's add that in. So we've got this data I18N attribute. I'll just add it here. Data I18N equals. And in a string, we'll have that dollar sign. Where's my dollar sign? That's not a dollar sign. There it is. I don't actually have to enter that many dollar signs, so I'm always a little bit like, which one is it? So it's a menu. It's dot. So punch dash time. That look good?
Yes.
So I've saved it now. Liz says I can never find the ampersand, and I use it everywhere. Yeah, it's
Now
it's
that you mention, I have to look at my keyboard to to remind where was that.
yeah.
I do understand that feeling.
Yeah. Um cool. So I've saved I think I saved it. Yeah, I did. Do I need to refresh?
No, that's no need. You can just change the language
Ah,
again and
yeah.
see if that it's working. I
Cool.
have a
It's
feeling that there is something else we need to do.
okay. Cool. Let's go to Italian.
Yeah,
Punch
the
punch time is still showing. I think we might. Yeah, sorry.
yeah. So just to make sure that the attribute is in there, you can go into, I don't know what's the Italian for that. You can just click Ctrl Shift I on time to live, which is
Ah,
sort of the
yeah.
developer view, and you can just check
Full
that
shift
the
I.
attribute is indeed there,
Ah, yes.
like
The
just like a Chrome inspection view.
yeah. Let me put this below, just because it. I don't know. For a web app like this, I feel
Mm-hmm.
this works well. So we're gonna make sure that this attribute is being. Oh, it's in there. Yeah.
Okay, so is it in there? I was just does this is a question I don't know. No, I was just wondering if TypeLeaf does support zooming, but does not yet. Maybe this is a good
Uh,
feature to add later.
looks like it doesn't. No.
Yeah, no.
Oh, but can I do it here inside the inspector? Ah,
Oh yeah.
nice. Nice, nice,
Great.
nice. Oh, thank you for the reminder. Um, yeah, so we gotta find that punch time button, huh? Can
Mm-hmm.
I can I do
I,
like punch? Ah, hello. So we can see it
so
there.
yeah, so yeah, indeed the attribute is there. But yeah, I didn't expect that because uh, the way we have this attribute, it doesn't really mean anything until we say in JavaScript uh, that we want to do something with that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that we are reloading everything from this page. As an example, to how we do that,
Yeah.
maybe you can check. I think it's Workday Waiver too. That
Mm-hmm.
has on the JavaScript file how we
Workday
do that
waiver,
for yes.
Workday waiver JS. Oh, keep forgetting. I don't use VS Code a lot, so I'm always like learning new things about it. Um, yeah, there it is. I18N.
So yeah, we can check, for example, how I18N is used. I believe it's some call that we need to do. That
Mm-hmm.
will translate such strings. Otherwise, it will left the original text on the HTML.
So what if I look up I18N here?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like these are some strings we're putting in at different parts. You're
Yeah,
talking about.
this is
Sorry.
yeah, this is this dot t is just a method that translates the string itself.
Mm,
So this is how we call to force the translation of the string, considering that the language that is set currently.
gotcha. So thank you. So we need to find one that sort of refreshes it for the whole page, right?
Yes, which I'm not 100% sure
Oh,
does exist. Oh, yeah, there is this translate page.
this is the one you're. Is this the one you mean?
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. There is this inside this scope. There is this function that is called translate page,
Hmm.
which I think it's yeah. This is on the top one that basically takes every field and localize it.
So we have this on Workday Waiver, but not in the index
Mm-hmm. Yes.
um, context.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. So we got to find out. I guess we got to use this calendar JS
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and hop in there. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I see it. I18N.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Let's keep looking for that. Resource bundle. Change language. Yeah. Change language. Then, Look, there's our punch button. Wait until transaction is complete. Translation, sorry. Change language lang.
Yeah,
Then,
so we wait for the language to be sourced and then we do apply several changes. For example, do create the calendar itself. As I mentioned, we have two different views. We do apply the theme, which you are currently using dark theme. We do have the light view
Mm-hmm.
and rainbow view too. And then we initialize, for example, the buttons. But in this scenario, we are not doing anything with the punch button label, right? So yeah, I believe this would be the place where we can uh, localize the button, the text for the button.
And would we want to do that for the entire page or just the button itself?
I believe for just the button, because the page itself, if you go back to HTML, to the file, it doesn't have anything. It just have this footer. I mean, it does have the calendar, which is populated in the calendar factory,
Gotcha.
and this already handles the translations for all the things that are inside the calendar itself. For example, the name for the days and all the other strings that we have on there. But the footer itself, as it lives only on this file, it's not a property of the calendar itself. It's not being translated. So I believe you can just translate the push button itself.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Thank you for clarifying that. Like this is super helpful to have somebody guide me through this. So if I'm
Yeah. So
not yeah, sorry.
yeah, no, I just want to mention that whenever we open issues on Time to Live, uh, this would be one of those that I already have a feeling of what's the issue. Usually, we try to mention or to give some pointers on how the person could start working on that. I didn't
Yeah.
did to this because I was going to do that live, so I didn't want to spoil everything. But we usually try to help people. Getting to know where to look for things or what might be the issue itself. So just want to mention that too.
Yeah. No, that's really handy. Like because of course, like if we have that idea but not the time to actually do the development, then that sort of goes a long way towards that.
Yes.
Awesome. Um, yeah, right. So we've got I saw my 18 language. So what we can do is use this jQuery um, I18N extension loaded with that in jQuery and then
Mm-hmm.
translate the page on it.
Yes.
That
Yes.
sounds
We may
good.
need to include that on the calendar JS file too. I'm not so sure if it does already have that.
Aha,
But yeah, I believe this is the path.
cool. Can I don't know why it keeps closing one and then the other. I'm very
You can
I'm
double click on the name for the file. While it's on italics, it will uh, kind of just open as a preview and just close that.
Oh. Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
The last 3 shows has just been me learning. It's mostly been me learning VS Code. Thank you. Um, cool. Cool. So we need to you mentioned that we need to sorry, I'm gonna scroll up.
Mhm.
Include this one here. This will need jQuery and jQuery
Mhm.
I18 and next. Because if I'm not mistaken, back here we've got I18N, but not jQuery.
Mhm.
So we'll need to include jQuery and the jQuery extension. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna switch back to the Workday waiver and copy these 2 lines and bring them over here. Didn't break anything, so I'm happy about that. Um, next, we'll need to use that. Gonna scroll down here in the calendar all the way to when we start up the internationalization and call. Oopsie. First, we need to. I'm gonna switch back over here. Scroll all the way down. I'm gonna copy some of this and then
Mhm. Yeah.
fix it up as we go.
Yeah. I'm all for that.
Sounds good.
As I mentioned, JavaScript is not the main language I work on. So
Yeah.
usually what I do is a lot of copy and pasting from one place to another. Usually
Yep.
Stack Overflow through the code itself, but
I mean that's a great way to learn.
yes.
I'm with you. Um, cool. So let's see, jQuery 8. So I'm gonna copy both these. Do I need these as well?
I don't think
No.
so because these are just some messages and some callbacks that we receive, and I believe this is already being handled on the calendar JS.
Gotcha. So I'll copy both these lines. Copy paste. This is the way. um, and yeah, at here, and instead of translate page, I'm just going to directly translate the so that would be punch button translator. Sorry,
I believe it's
localize
localized.
localize with a Z. Okay,
Okay, now let's see.
hopefully. Ora di
Wow.
registrazione. That what a yeah. That sounds like time to register, doesn't it? I don't speak
Mm,
Italian. I'm not going to pretend.
does look like that. And this is maybe the problem that when a review comes with someone translating languages, we
Yeah.
don't have much to do except
No,
to
of course.
trust the person. So I do expect that to be actually okay. We do have often people who notice that things are maybe they are out of context and they come forward and open issues and say, okay, I can help you make these translations easier. So this is
Hmm.
okay too. We do appreciate that very much because there is no chance I can actually review something that is written on Italian or some other language.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel you. I had this for a long time too. Like I realized early in my career when I started working in software development, and I had to. One of my first tasks was to translate an app to Spanish, and I realized, you know what? The Spanish I speak at home and the Spanish I speak to a computer is completely different, and so like trying to get those right is really hard.
Yeah.
Um, let's try German. German's a language I speak. Ah, look.
Oh,
So it's still in
still good.
Italian.
Okay,
Mhm.
so there's something else here too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
However, if I refresh, like I'm just going to try saving a file here.
Mm-hmm.
Zeitstoppen. That sounds good. Stop
Mm-hmm.
time it says. um
So maybe
cool.
there is some other place that we do need to add those localization. So this
Yeah.
actually this callback is when we change the language. I was expecting that to be the correct place, but maybe there is some other place in there that also is doing some other manipulation with the localization library.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, cuz on the
So
page load, I love that it's
yeah,
commented by the way. On page load, create the calendar, wait until the translation is complete. When it's translated, we localize. But could it be
yeah.
that the localized call
Mm,
didn't do anything? Do we want to set up a
maybe. Yeah, we can set up some debugs or something like that.
yeah.
Uh, is the ID correct? Just to make sure, because I
Oh, good call.
usually get a lot of confusion.
It
So
is. Oh, oh, you're right. Tamara, I messed up. Check it out. It's punch button label, not punch
no,
button. Mm-hmm. Good call. Good call. Thank you. So it's punch button label. My mistake. So there's site stoppen. So I think it's only fair that we try out Portuguese now. I'm having way too much fun with how much there's how many languages you all have here. Ah, Okay, no, it's
Okay,
like
no, it's
showing.
still okay. So yeah, not the label itself. So there is still something here.
Is
Okay.
it cool if I set up a breakpoint here?
Yeah, sure.
Let's have a look. Maybe something's wrong with the jQuery
Mhm.
loading because we just kind of dropped jQuery in there, and I feel
Yeah.
like maybe there's a bit more to it. jQuery i18 next dot init. Yeah, I'll set up a breakpoint here and see what happens.
Mhm.
Did I? Sorry, it's a bit cumbersome because every time I have to bring in the
Uh-huh.
window from it. Let's try Russian next. So now, unless I'm mistaken,
Oh.
this didn't get called.
It's going to call. Yeah, so indeed this is getting called only when the page is set up, and I believe,
Hmm.
oh, I know, now I see the issue. So when we refresh, refresh just the calendar part itself. So we do have the calendar and we have the footer. And when we refresh things, we are not refreshing the whole page. So we are not refreshing index HTML. We are refreshing just the calendar portion. So
Right.
maybe one better approach to that would be to migrate the footer into the base calendar, and then we can handle all the refresh and localization inside the base calendar.
Gotcha. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Sounds good. So,
Mhm.
we need to move this stuff too, right? The callback.
Yes, yes. Maybe there the callback will be a little bit different. So
Uh-huh.
maybe we can start by looking at the base calendar that I mentioned. Uh,
Gotcha. That would be
I
this is
believe it will be under classes.
classes base calendar.
Yeah. So what we actually do with JavaScript is just to create a lot of HTML code
Mhm.
in there. And from this base calendar, we do have some other classes that are defined and derived from there. But because this button is, we do want that to be either on the month view or the day view calendar, then it's okay to have that on the base calendar, to have the footer on the base calendar.
Gotcha.
So in the base calendar, there is this constructor which basically creates the page itself. And we can see that it does some things and does call in each calendar, which I believe, yeah,
Ah, gotcha.
this
Gotcha.
this is implemented on each other of the classes that we have.
That's
Uh,
that's very object oriented. I like it. So this is an abstract class, right?
yes, yes.
Ah, good times. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, lots of C++ developers who work on this.
Cool. Cool. I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an abstract, but there is some not purely abstracted class. So there is
Mm.
some things that are implemented in this class. Um, I believe maybe if you scroll down a little bit, we may see
Mhm.
some things that are common to, yeah. For example, this update table header. This is what
Mm.
updates, for example, the month, where we show what's the current month that is being showed. This is common to both, I believe, or maybe the table body. Anyway, these are things that are common. So maybe we can check how they are created and create this new div inside the base calendar that will have the footer. So I
Gotcha.
believe that would be the draw function. It's a good point where to check that, because this is what is calling all the initialization things that we need to have to be able to draw the calendar itself.
Mhm. And so in here, we'll want to have update table header, able update table body, and I guess we'll add something called update table footer.
Yes,
Does that sound good?
yes,
Update table footer. And I like that because it kind of goes nicely, like beginning, middle, and end. It looks
yes.
good structurally.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Uh, so after doing that, we'll need to define. one of these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to copy the function updates the code of the table footer of the calendar to be called, and we'll make this hold on demand. Does that sound good?
Yes.
So under what's his? Does this footer have an ID? It is a div class footer.
We can add an
Shall we?
ID for that, right?
Yeah,
No
I think so. I
problem.
think that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
ID equals footer. Cool. And here we can say footer.html and this generate table footer. So far, so good, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna
Well,
get an
everything is kind of working. We kind of
yeah.
lost a lot of things there on
Yeah,
the
and I think that's
calendar,
fit.
but
Yeah. Yeah, but that's good. That means that stuff's happening. So we see here
yeah.
generate table footer is not a function. Obviously, we didn't
Mm-hmm.
write that function yet, so we got to start writing that function. Generate. Let me look up generate
Mm-hmm.
table body, for example. Ooh, that's somewhere else.
Yeah, this is the ones that we implement for different types of calendars. For the footer, we do expect that to be the same. So I think this is the one that we can implement on this base calendar class itself.
Gotcha. So would it make sense to declare a new? Yeah, I guess just for
Yeah.
consistency's sake, we can generate table footer.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I'm going to do is yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was going to suggest just to check how this generate table body is done. And I must say that it's probably there is a better way of doing that, but you'll see that there is a lot of strings involved.
Ooh, and we got some JS doc.
Yeah.
Nice. Returns the code of the table body of the calendar and get inputs row code, and that's what we're doing is returning. We're returning HTML.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and there we translate it. Nice. Okay, cool. And this returns a string, which is the table body. Okay, I like this. This is cool. I'm gonna copy this JS doc. Here. Here's the code of the table footer of the calendar, which returns a string, generate table footer. And here I'm going to return what is essentially
Mm-hmm.
the HTML. Please do stop me, folks, if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm doing something disagreeable here. And here, now I'm bad at this. When we declare HTML, are we replacing the tag itself or are we replacing its content inside?
We are replacing the content inside.
Right. So we do not need the footer tag, we just need a button.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. That works for me. So we can I see. Okay. Oopsie. So
We can use of that type of string in JavaScript, which is the tick. I don't know the name for that. Where you can use functions inside of that. Although it's not what's being used in there, or
yeah, it's being used here. The tilde?
yeah,
It's
the
called tilde?
tilt, yeah.
Yeah,
It's tilt, yeah.
I think so.
I'm
Cool.
horrible with the names of signs and things like that.
The same here. I keep forgetting. I think Squiggly is a perfect name. Cool. I'm just gonna do this pretty similarly to how it's done here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can fix that up as we go.
Mm-hmm.
So that plus. Are you a plus? No. I've got stage fright and now I've forgotten how to do a plus on my keyboard. That's enter. Where's the plus? I'm so sorry, everybody.
It's
There it is.
on my
Whew.
keyboard. It's close to the zero. Yeah.
That's stage fright for you. Um, so we got a closing button part here, and then this part we're gonna do the more dynamic part,
Mhm.
where we'll just take this here. Gotta remove that closing div. Don't forget me. And inside here, we'll put in I18N for menu punch time.
I believe because you are specifying, we are creating. I don't know if does need to be data int. And you can just replace the text itself.
Gotcha. Of course. Right. Replace
I don't
punch
know if
time.
it does make a difference.
That does make sense. Cool. So we have now moved that code in here.
Mhm.
Should be pretty much the same, except we're now doing the internationalization dynamically.
Mhm.
I'm going to save and see what happens.
Yes.
Update table footer is not a function. Update table footer. Did I generate?
Generate table. Oh no.
I forgot to rename this function.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay.
It
That
loads.
look that looks good. Let's change that. Let's try English because I get the feeling this is going to
Mhm.
work. Gives it a bit of finality. Yes!
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Okay. I'm going to
Great.
try. Thank you so much. This was super fun. Let's do another one. Let's put in Turkish.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yay.
Beautiful. 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 So, just put it back on let's put it on Spanish for a victory lap. Hora del golpe. Nice. And yeah, that looks solid to me. The question is, out of curiosity, in your
Mhm.
opinion, would that mean we could, in theory, remove this
Yes,
button?
yes, I was gonna mention that because we
Yeah,
don't really need that anymore.
yeah. And that kind of makes this a little more succinct as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Liz says, "Huzzah!" Yeah, not bad at all. Let's try Dutch. Looks good. Wonderful. Cool. Awesome. I guess we can start committing and making a pull request, huh?
Yes, yes. There is some other step in the development guide which we can make just to have everything set correctly, which is
Absolutely.
running the actually there are two steps: the running the linting
Yeah.
and also maybe running tests.
Cool. Well,
The pull
thank you.
request flow, we will already do the test part, but I think it's worth to just to give a try. And the
I'm
linting one, you won't be able to commit without that because there is a pre-commit hook that prevents
nice.
commit with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, we would like last week for the Python project I was contributing to, we had Git hooks there as well. So I'm with you. I'm just gonna add a second terminal here. Can I do that here? Nice.
Yeah.
So we need to npm run lint fix, npm run lint fix. I'll make this smaller so we can keep the instructions side by side.
Mm-hmm.
I think this works. Yeah, lovely. Oh,
Found an issue that it was not able to fix by itself.
good to know. How do I I-18 is not defined in base calendar. Aha.
Maybe we forgot some code in there, right?
I think we forgot to import
Hmm.
I-18N.
But
Oh,
this part is not necessary anymore. Uh,
yeah.
in-
Oh, you know what? You know what I'm going to do in that case? Because I think all of the changes we made to this file can
mhm.
be, yeah. Let me do a quick git status, and I'm just going to git check out
Mhm.
this file. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be very careful not to remove all my work. JS, calendar.js. Hit it one path. So that's now back to as it was when I checked it out.
Mhm. Yeah. I
The
would
other one is
suggest just double check that that was not an important part of the fix. Just try changing the language one more time in
good
the
call.
application.
Good
I do not
call.
expect that to be a problem, but you never know.
No, I'm with you. Let's try Japanese. Looks
Yeah.
good. This is super fun. Oops. English. There we go. Awesome.
Great. Okay, so not a problem.
Phew. Um yes. Yes, of course, because here um I forgot to import
I think
I18N.
it was complaining about the issue on the base calendar itself. I don't think that they were complaining on the actually not the base calendar. I think it was the other file. Oh no, it's
No,
indeed.
it's this one. So
Okay.
on line 143, line 143, which is I think the one we added here.
Mhm.
This file is not defined. So we need to not this file, sorry, this variable.
Mhm. Yeah, we need to import that.
And I'm going to do that by just copying it over
Mhm.
here. But got to be careful because that I18N is in a different folder because the base calendar is inside
Mhm.
classes.
Yeah.
So we actually need to, oops, we need to do this twice? Yes, I think so.
Yes. Mhm.
I'll go ahead and try this again just in case. But I think it's good.
Me too. I think everything is okay. Mm. I didn't pay attention to what was before.
But yeah, we can see
Yay,
there
great.
it's
Mhm.
it's working. um cool. Where was I? Yes, we're gonna run the linter again.
Mhm.
We're gonna press up on my keyboard to get there. Oh wow. Wow,
It
it's
does check
thorough,
a lot
huh?
of files. Yeah. But I
That's
believe
awesome.
you have kept the same files, right? Change it if you do a git status.
Oh yeah, let's have a look.
No, what happened? Okay.
Whoa, a lot of stuff changed, eh?
Yeah,
I'll do
I was
a
not expecting that.
shall I do a diff and take a look?
Yeah, yeah, let's just take a look.
I've never actually used this in VS Code before, so I don't know what's
Hmm,
doesn't look different.
yeah.
Maybe I'll take a look at git diff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is something that sometimes happens because of the line ending
Oh
in
yeah.
and
Oh, is it sorry, I'm just scrolling down out of curiosity.
yeah.
Is this a setting in my VS Code that's probably
Yeah, maybe it is. I think there is some extensions and some things that do format the code as you are saving or something like that that
Oh
it does
no.
cause problems. In this case, we can just revert these changes on those files
Okay.
because we didn't got any problem with the file itself we are working on. So I believe we can just revert the issues on the other files, and that will
Yeah,
not be a problem.
cool. So this one, and all of the package lock didn't change.
Yeah, the package lock, it's a different issue because
Okay.
which, and I must say that I don't know how to solve. You can just revert that too. There's no problem.
What does this
There is
do?
something on npm install and npm CI that changed the file. Oh gosh, still a lot of files, but
I think these are mostly translation
yeah.
ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Reverting. Okay. Whew. All right. We're back to
Okay.
we're
There
back
is
we're back
error.
here.
This I'll need to take a look at that further because I just today I
Oh.
had the same issue too, and I believe it's one of my oh
Shall I try this?
yes, I think it's worth.
I don't actually know about this line ending stuff.
Oh, I need to
So,
check mine too because I think I got the same issue.
oh yeah. Hmm. Maybe it's a Windows thing.
Yeah, yes. I believe that other ending is specific to Windows.
Hmm.
So yeah, we can skip that part. We know that there is no problem on the files itself in terms of formatting. Now my
Shall we
suggestion was just to run the tests itself.
so we'll
This
skip
is
these
yeah,
linkers?
we can skip those, no
Okay.
problem, and just run tests.
Nice. npm run test jest.
Yeah, there is some tests, but it should be over in maybe 1 minute or
Okay.
less.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome that you have tests as well. I love tests because they give you like a really good idea of like what's what's expected from the app, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna take a little peek here in the meantime. That's awesome. Expect show day. Get default width height. Nice. I love this because it just tells me right away like what we want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really like this the Jest infrastructure for testing. I
Yeah.
find that very easy to use and very straightforward. Uh, you
Mm.
you know exactly what to expect, and the reporting is very nice too. I really like to see
Yeah.
those green check marks there.
They're very
Hmm.
satisfying.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm very happy to see that everything is passing. At
Yes.
least so far. Knock on wood.
It's almost finished.
Awesome. Yeah, and I love it because it for especially like if you're getting started with it, like if you it kind of gives me a good sense of security to know that if I broke something, the tests are going to tell me, you know?
Yes. Yes. And we are trying. Maybe this is a plug for if anyone here has experience. We are trying with Mocha and Spectrum too, because these tests are more on the unit test level of things, and we
Mm.
do want some more complex tests in a way that we are actually opening time to live and maybe interacting with that. And we did have that. But it got broken, and it's been really hard to be able to fix that. If
Yeah.
anyone has any suggestions on how to do that, and especially with Electron, please come talk with us. We'll be grateful.
Yeah, no, that's that, and if it's something that it's your area of expertise, and like you want to help with that. Like, unfortunately, the last time I set this up was with a Rails app, so I haven't done this for an Electron app. That'd be super interesting. But cool, looks like our tests are, pardon me, they're passing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Great.
well, this is a fast computer. 31 seconds. Mine was only 2 minutes. So
There was missing two tests. Let's put the blame on the two tests that are taking a little bit more.
cool. And I love how detailed this is that it says like if you have any tests, you can scroll up and check. Arrow will tell you why it failed in terms of what was expected and what was got. Yeah, specific tests. Nice. And well, I'm not in charge of. Oh,
Yeah,
oh, oh, oh! I want to try this. May I?
yeah, sure.
If nobody minds. So to package this to run on Windows, let's do it. So this will prepare a binary of the app, right?
Yes, yes, exactly that.
That
And
is
then
super
you can install that and have it running on your computer.
nice. So this would be my custom pre-release version.
Yes.
Nice.
We have that there, but we don't expect people to be needing. But maybe it's maybe they want to try, and maybe they are working on something that is targeting release flows. So maybe we want to make sure that some icons are being properly copied or something like that, and the person has to know how to, we actually release the time to live. So I think it's worth to have that, even though most people will not need that at all.
I couldn't agree more, and I think it gives such a it's such a good insight into like how this stuff works. You know,
Yes, yes.
that's so cool. Um, well, that's built. So I think under release builds, yeah, wrote new app. Ooh, focus folder on Explorer. Yeah, let's do that. Did I do that?
Might have
Yeah.
opened somewhere else in your computer, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't show up yet, but it's this one, right? Time to
Yes.
leave.exe. So I'm just gonna reveal in File Explorer. There we go. So let's bring that window over. So there we go. Time to leave is there. And if I double click on it, it's
Please
opening.
work. Please work.
I'm sure it will.
Usually we. Oh, great. That's beautiful.
Ah, that's so satisfying. And that's with our fix, right? Let's
Yes.
try it out. Language, Espanol, hora del golpe. We're good. And the button
Hora
works,
del
right?
golpe does work. It's actually a good translation to punch time.
Yeah,
I have no idea, but I really like the hora del golpe.
I love it too. um, you know what, Tamara? Should we try that the button works?
Yeah.
So I'm clicking
Mm.
it. Did I?
Mm.
Is it not
It's
working?
not working. Because
Good thing.
it should add some entries on today's, and it does not
Hmm.
seem to be doing that. That's a good point, and we are missing tests for that for sure.
Good thing we tried.
Yeah. It's okay
Okay.
because uh, we we are aware that sometimes bugs happen, and when we are
Yeah.
close to actually releasing time to live, we do a really further inspection, a manual
Yeah, I'll bet.
inspection, that to make sure that no problem is is happening.
Awesome.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that's really good too. I think
Mhm.
having that as a sense of security as well is super
Mhm.
handy. So let's I what I believe just top of my head.
Mhm.
What I believe the problem is that we are re-rendering that button.
Mhm.
Where is that? Update table header, table body, generate table footer, but we lose this binding here, this one here.
Mhm. Yeah, makes total sense. And I believe that in that other function inside the base calendar, when we are creating the header, the body, and the footer, we actually have some things that already bind buttons, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe we can put in there.
Yeah, makes sense. Uh-huh. Let's do a search for button. Here's our button. Toggle punch button. Oh, oh, we've got the toggle punch button, hey?
Yeah, but this is just to toggle being active or not,
Yeah,
because we
yeah.
just want that to be active if there is
Ah,
indeed
yeah.
some if this is a working day.
Gotcha, of course. So in this class specifically, we don't, but maybe in one of the subclasses, hey?
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Yeah,
try.
but I believe that is actually on that what was the name in the index.js file. Maybe I believe it, because if the button was already in the HTML code. Yeah, the code is there, right? So this is what
Yeah.
we actually do, but we don't call that again when we are refreshing the page, and that's when
Yeah.
we are losing this bind.
Yeah. So we need to move this over to the
Hmm.
base calendar.
Yeah.
So the first thing so there was that one where we synchronized the status of the button. Where was
Hmm.
that? Under draw. I think under draw it makes sense to
Yeah.
to to reset this binding.
Hmm.
Um on the calendar is this. Okay. So in that case, I'm just gonna copy this and give it a try.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm excited. Punch button on click. Calendar, we've already defined calendar. Punch date. Am I not even thinking that this might be it?
I believe so. It does make sense. We need
Let's
to remove that from the original file, but
you.
it should
Yes.
work.
Look at that. We are removing quite a bit of code because we don't need the calendar anymore.
But
Nice.
we still need to create that, I believe.
Oh, the get
I
instance?
believe the get instance also creates. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I have the feeling because I don't see anywhere else in this code where we do instantiate the calendar itself. We can
Tell you
try.
what. Yeah, let's try commenting
Mm-hmm.
it out for now and see what happens. I think we will need to run the app again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of got synchronized with the build. Sorry, the release build.
Oh, really?
I think so.
It was able to get the chains?
I think so. I could be
Interesting.
wrong. So, is this? Maybe you were right. I think you were right. Huh? Unexpected end of JSON input. Was that me?
Uh,
Let me try commenting this back in. You were right.
yeah.
You were right. Now, uh, so let's leave that as is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hora del golpe. Let's do it. Oh, there it is.
Yay. It's
That's
back
working.
working.
Now let's change the moment of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Let's change the language, and it's working. Cool.
Yay.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome. Let's. Oh, we run the. I think it makes sense to run the test again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I was surprised that didn't cut that, but again, we do
Do
have
we? Do
some problems with testing not cover everything yet. We do
you
intend
want
to
to add a
improve
test,
that.
Tamara?
The thing is, I don't know if we can because
Hmm.
uh, that's on my part, not really knowing a lot. There are some issues where we cannot really make Jest behave as having the application loaded.
Hmm.
So, and because we need to go into the preference, change things, and reload, I'm not so sure if it's possible using the infrastructure that we have today. But I'll make sure that when we do fix the Spectrum infrastructure, this would be a nice test to have on that. I have
Yeah.
started this list of tests that we do need, but we need an infrastructure for that first.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Fair enough. Let's. Well, sorry. I just realized I could have run the test. Sorry. Run is it test? Test. In the meantime, I'll go ahead while that's running
Hmm.
and start setting this up for a commit.
Yes.
So we will add removing all of the content from the footer.
Hmm.
I've never done this in VS Code. Package JSON won't change. Calendar JSON will change. We'll remove this here. Add that. And this is where the bulk of our changes came in, I would say. How do I make this bigger? 'Cause, 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 ' Is this not us?
Yeah, that's strange. I was expecting. This is the
Ah,
base.
there it is.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
There's our internationalization. There's our generators and our footer, and
Mm-hmm.
that looks good. There's our update, and there's our binding.
Great.
Fantastic. Let's add that.
I suggest you committing on the command line itself and
Yeah.
purposely avoiding the tests that the no commit hook, just because there is this difference in the line end, and the hook will run the formatters over and over again, and mine includes a lot of other changes
Oh
that
yeah.
we are not expecting.
So we'll skip the hook. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds fair. Yeah, because I don't know if it changed it. Like I changed it here,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if that changes in the terminal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can try committing, skipping the hook itself, and then running the lint again, just to see if that makes sense. If
Sounds good.
that made any change, and if not, we can just git revert everything, right?
It'll be fine.
Yay! All the tests
Here we
passed.
go. We've got everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
Some Enzo Breda writes, "Congrats, Tamara and Ramon, for the live. It was amazing. Yay!"
Thank you.
Everything's working so far. I'm super happy, and I'm learning a lot. So I'm very grateful. So we'll git commit, and how do you skip hooks?
It's dash n.
-n like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now, how do we? Do you have a? What's your commit style?
No, we don't have an style. You can follow your heart.
Follow my heart. Oh, I love that. So we will do fix, quite conventional. Fix punch
Yeah.
button language. No, locale not synchronizing with a Z. That look good.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Looks great.
After locale change. Good.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Perfect. So that's committed.
Mm-hmm.
Now you recommended running the linter once again.
Yeah, just to make sure this would be more like an experiment.
Yeah.
Just to see if that makes any change on VS Code.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it doesn't look like so. There is still something. I know that when you configure a Git, you can also configure the line ending for things,
Yeah.
but I think that some other things on VS Code is kind of messing things up.
Yeah.
I'll for sure take a look at that, because as I mentioned, I also bumped into this issue,
Yeah.
and people who will contribute to time review might also hit that. I'll check that later, and we'll update the developing guide.
That sounds good. Maybe I suspect it might be I suspect it might be a Windows thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got that committed.
Mm-hmm.
I realize I committed that to main, but I'm going to make a branch real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fork, by the way.
Yeah.
Git check out B. Fix bug fix. Let's be good citizens. Put in
Put it the number of the issue.
yeah.
Yeah.
793 issues. Nice. Punch button locale. And we'll push that branch. Git push origin bug fix. Can't tab to autocomplete. Now I'm regretting writing so much. Locale. There we go. Awesome. So that's pushed, and create a pull request by visiting. Yeah, let's open this. So straight from there, I can create a pull request. So fix punch button locale not synchronizing after locale change.
Mhm.
So closes. I love this. I love this. I love
Me
this. I
too.
love this.
Me too.
It's so good.
Before that, the repository keep it some issues open just because we forgot to close. So yeah, that
Yeah,
helps a lot.
totally. Totally. Briefly explain the purpose of the PR by providing a summary of the context. Okay. This aims. Oh, but I need to remove this, right?
Yeah.
This uh, refactors the punch button into being relocalized with a Z when locale changes with the rest of the calendar layout. What change is being introduced by this PR? How did you approach this problem? What changes did you make to achieve the goal? What are the indirect and direct consequences of the change? By moving the I hope this isn't too boring, folks. By moving the rendering of I think it's important to see like the full
Mhm.
process.
Yeah.
By moving the rendering of the footer over into the calendar, we streamline the re-rendering of the app when, for example, the language is changed. It's introduced a minor issue where the button was losing its binding. Tupa Squirrel writes, not boring, I could watch you two all day.
Oh.
Oh, thank you. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah. So to Pascal is one of the maintainers of Time to Live, so he may
Oh,
be a
hi!
little bit biased on there.
Never, no such thing as
Also,
bias.
yeah. So also just taking the opportunity while you are working that and to thank Arthur, which is another contributor of Time to Live, and also Tulio. Without them, it would be really impossible for me to keep track of everything in Time to Live. So thank you both for the work that you
Oh,
do in Time to Live too.
so it's so great that y'all are here, working with us on this. So I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna copy over these steps.
I'll let it pass this time. The next time you need to be more explicit.
A little stricter.
Yeah.
See, the text is translated, and there is one more step, which is um, press the button to punch in the time.
I don't know that GitHub is smart to really put the ordering to be 1, 2, 3, even if you
Oh, no,
just
no, it
set up.
does. Here,
Yeah,
here, check it
that's
out.
really good. I keep it going back and forth if I want to add something in the middle. So yeah, that's something I learned today. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Yeah. If this PR is for translation, please check the mark below. I confirm that I'm a native or fluent speaker of the language. I'm clearly not a fluent speaker of English. Can't even speak it properly. Until I'm translating to. I think I can remove this because
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
can remove. Yeah.
Awesome. Allow edits by maintainers. Is this a draft? No, I guess it's a.
Mm-hmm. It's not a dress, right?
Excellent. Well, there we go. Pull
Mm-hmm.
request created.
Great. Yay.
That's exciting.
I'm happy to have that fixed.
Awesome. Oh, you've got actions.
Yes, a whole bunch of those.
That's awesome.
let
That's
me
really good.
let me allow you to
Do
because
you
the
have
first time contributors we need to approve the run, but I just do that for you.
Oh, that means you're gonna get a map. Have you seen PR maps
So
yet?
yeah, but I noticed that it does only comment when the PR is from the maintainer. I only saw
Mm,
that on PRs that I have open myself. I don't know if that has changed from the time I have that first setup and there is some kind of configuration that I can change on the action itself. I need to take a look at that. But
no, that's totally on our end. I think I believe this is I believe please correct me if I'm wrong. People are in the chat who are watching that are engineers on Coatsy. But we have had this reported a couple times from some other open source maintainers, and I believe this is either fixed or being fixed.
Oh, great, great.
And I think
Yeah.
there's an update that needs to take place on the action itself that we need to run or needs to be pull requested in. But
Mhm.
let's see. Hopefully it works out. Anyway, sorry I interrupted you.
No, no, I was just gonna mention that, and because of that, because it's only on PRs that I have opened, and I haven't opened that many since I added that. I didn't really saw many times that. The one time that I saw, I found that very interesting uh, to see the changes and to see the colors and the arrows and
Yeah.
everything like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Hopefully we can see it. Let me see if I can open it here.
Hmm.
And we can take a look and see if it ran, if it worked. Run map action. Because I think it fails silently if it doesn't work. There it is. User bin git failed with exit code run. So I think this is a bug on our end that we need to
Hmm.
fix. My bad.
But looking
Let's
forward for when you fix that. I'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
waiting to get comments with the
Oh,
updates on the map.
it's super fun. We've been adding some. I might have one. Do you have a moment? Can I show you like
Yes, yes,
one
sure.
that's in action?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show you one from the stream we were working on last week with Distributed with Maxime. Shipment tracker. Yeah, I'll show you this one. It's pretty cool. Because what we've added, public page improvements. I was doing some front end work on
Mm.
this. So you've probably seen this, the comment that shows you the diff.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah, like which files are added, removed, or edited. But what we added recently was the ability to see this as an interactive map.
No way.
So like you can, and with we have a tip now. Yeah.
Oh.
So so not only can you isolate which ones were changed,
Uh-huh.
like to see the routes, but if you double click on it, as the tip says, you can review the diff for that file specifically. So we're pretty excited about
Wow.
this. Um,
That's really cool.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're super excited
Out
about it.
of curiosity, what was the red dotted line there?
Good question. That means that the dependency of this file on this one was removed.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't stopped to think what would happen if you were to remove some dependence. Yeah, that's a really
Yeah,
cool way
yeah.
to see to show that.
Yeah, so for example, we like I think this one encompasses it quite
Mm-hmm.
nicely. Like this word mark here. What I did was you can actually see. I love this stuff. You see, a lot of code in these files was being repeated, so I extracted this layout here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's why they all depend on that, and I just made this layout depend on the word mark, and so I didn't remove the dependency of these files
Oh.
on the word mark.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, that's really cool.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's a cool it's an amazing tool. Like, and the developers are just killing it. I can say that. Oh no, wrong. Is this the right one? Yes, it is. This is us, right?
Yes,
So we
and
got
we
our
even
code
got a code
coverage.
coverage. Yeah.
Nice,
And looks
nice.
like you have improved the code coverage. It does have some time fluctuations, but usually when I see something green, I like it.
Yeah,
I don't stop to think too much on that.
that's fair. Cool. Well, I guess we are ready for a review. Tamara, do you want to
Yeah,
keep going? Shall we do a live review?
yeah. Let's do that.
I'm
I
gonna
can
switch over to
share
your
my
screen if
screen.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm
Yeah,
already sharing. So yeah.
awesome. Here we go. Switching over to you.
So okay, so we are here on the files change, and just to make everybody know exactly what I usually do, what usually reviewers do, we
Yeah,
do first check what is the change itself, understand what is being changed. Depending on the kind of change that is being done, I usually wait for the checks to to pass because I don't want to maybe spend too much time working on something that is
yeah,
broken. So it does depend. So after that, we can go over the files change and see everything here. And in the index, we see that the filter code has being removed, which is expected. Okay, and because it's okay, we removed the binding. Okay, expected to. This is just the last file. Okay, so we are now adding the internationalization library and creating a generate table footer, which returns the code of the table footer of the calendar. I would say just because I'm a little I usually like things to be kind of aligned, uh,
Oh yeah, yeah,
similar
yeah.
to the way we do um, on the code itself. Is if this was to be a JavaScript or not a JavaScript and HTML file. So I would just
Ooh,
to have a suggestion, and if this is just so simple as that, I like to use this feature, which I
it's
find
such a
that
good
really
feature.
good. Yeah, so I would just have that. Usually we use for spaces here and just move this a little bit. Yeah, so just because let me just
Nice.
so just to have everything aligned. So
I love this. We're doing suggestions like live. This is wonderful. And this is like I only discovered this feature on GitHub this year. It is
align.
one of my favorites.
Yes, yes, I really love that. And I love that because usually these things we don't need to get back to the person who had work on that. We can just commit the suggestion and just merge the change together
That's
as a whole
wonderful.
without having to go back. So yeah, the code itself is it's okay. We are just moving and removing things from the HTML with the difference here for this punch time. Update table footer, updates the code of the table footer of the calendar to be carried on demand. Great. And binding. Yeah, looks great. So looks
Oh yeah.
great. Thanks. And approve.
Wonderful.
And as I mentioned, I can just come here and just fix alignment. Oh, I hate to write alignment. Uh,
for me,
mm.
for me that the word for me my word is accommodate. I can never get accommodate right. Too many M's, too many C's, I never know.
Yeah,
Um
just because I did that, we need to run again. But
yeah.
I can just so let me just have that here, just because I used to things here. This is just maybe a maintainer curiosity. If anyone is interested in that, is that we do have a change log for time to leave. That help us
Awesome.
when we are releasing time to leave, and we want to keep track of everything. So we do have this other action, which uses this um, which gets comments with this. And here we can say, for example, that this was a fix. We don't really require the number here because it will get from the message itself. But I can say that this fix an issue where punch button now gets correctly translated when changing languages. And the user who did that, it was Ramon. So I
No
can just copy
way.
that and what we do, and there is some Discord message here just because
No way.
we can see that in action. Just you can stop me, but I think that's really cool to see GitHub actions in action. But what it does is actually take all that information that I pasted in the comment and parse things up and adds in the correct file, which is the changelog file, and actually commits that on the repository. So if you now go back here, we can see that the changelog bot has made a change and included the fix itself here, and also add Ramon as the contribute in the contributor list for who built the new version of Time to Live.
No way. That is so cool. Tamara, I'm gonna need you to please sometime show me like how this works because this looks
Yeah, sure,
amazing.
sure, sure. No
The
problem.
world of
Just
open
ping
source,
me.
yeah, the world of open source never ceases to amaze me. This is so cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so
So that adds a commit to this or to
yeah,
main.
so currently it adds a commit to main. We do
Yeah, yeah,
have open an issue which is for someone to help us because we would like to add the commit to the PR itself. But
yeah,
then we hit some problems of either the person who had submitted the PR have not checked the allow additions from maintainers or
yeah.
some other issues with tokens and things like that. The idea would be to commit the PR itself on the branch of the PR. But for now, it commits on main. But
That's
yeah,
so cool.
so if everything here has passed, the bot already told me because this is another thing. It tells me
Oh,
when it has
cool.
committed things up. Then we can squash and merge or rebase. That really depends on things up. So because I have also added a commit here for this, I just gonna choose squash and merge. If this is gonna be just one comment, just one commit, I usually rebase. It
Hmm.
I have to start thinking exactly what I want here. But yeah,
Yeah.
so the commit is merged and the issue is closed.
Closed.
Yeah, looks
Brilliant.
great. Thank you a
Brilliant.
lot, Ramon.
Hey, no, thank you. Not and look at that. We finished right on the dot. Eh? I know we were ambitious and wanted to do more,
Yeah, but
but what I would propose, Tamara, if I may,
mhm,
is we've got another show at Coatsy. If you're ever
mhm,
interested, we have something called Open Source Thursdays that I do. You've probably seen me do it with Distribute 8.
yeah.
Um, if you ever want to come on again, uh, we
Wow.
can we can do more stuff.
Sure, sure.
And
That
and
would be a pleasure.
well, and I cannot thank you enough for letting me contribute to Time to Leave today. This was
No, it's an honor to have you contributing and to have this space to show up this project and maybe to have more people interested in contributing to Time to Live too and maybe to other projects as well.
yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do, folks. Because we are approaching the end of the day. It's gonna be dinner time here in a minute, so I'm gonna have to start winding down for the day. Um, let's. Here's what I'm gonna do. If folks want to contribute, is it fine if I put the link to the project here on
Yeah,
the chat?
sure. Sure.
So this is the Time to Leave project. It is such a joy to work on this. And there you see, github.com/tamara/time to leave. Please do come in and contribute. I think I can stop sharing screens here. I can tell you from first-hand experience, the maintainer team is wonderful, full of very kind and warm people. The Discord community is really, really nice too. I haven't been contributing myself, but it's just been like, keep like just seeing what folks are doing. Um, no, this has been an absolute joy. I'm very, very thankful for you taking the time, Tamara, to join us today.
Oh, thank you for the invitation again. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm so glad, and I hope to see you again, and maybe we can do some open source again. Yeah,
Sure, sure. Yes, that would be great. Let's talk.
yeah, sounds good. All right, well, to everybody else, thank you so much for joining in today. It's been a joy. We'll be doing one more of these for Hacktoberfest, and then who knows, maybe we'll keep onboarding me to more projects afterwards if this is something that folks want to see. Um, thanks so much for coming on, everybody, and wish you a wonderful day. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.